What are all the concepts in discrete event simulation system? That is, first one is system. System is nothing but a collection of entities. Entities, what is an entity? It is any object or a component. For example, system means you take previous problem example. Able means one server, baker one server, and waiting in a queue is one of the queue. These all combinedly call it as a system. So, it is said to be a collection of entities that interact together over time to accomplish one task, one or more tasks. Okay, this is what the system. Next, coming to model. Model is nothing but it is an abstract representation of a system. For example, maybe it is a structural representation, logical representation, mathematical representation, whatever it might be. Okay, depending on that representation, we'll say which model it belongs to. Next, coming to system state. At a particular instant of time, at that particular time, what is the state of a system? That represents system state. Take a variable, that is a collection of a variables that contains all information about the system which describes. This is said to be a system state. For example, here you can take system state, again server. Server, you are having two servers. Okay, L represents server, two servers. If suppose you are using able, represent with the letter A, of T represents able at a time period T, at that particular instant of time T. Okay, same as for example baker, LB of T, or you can take Q also. Q, that is waiting line, Q of T. For example, system state, this is able, whether able is busy or idle, means giving the service to the customers or not. Busy or idle. Busy represents 1, representing with 1, idle representing with 0. If L of A of t at particular instant of time t, if it is represented with 1, that means able, that server is busy. If suppose it is equal to 0, that represents baker is idle. That means not busy, not giving any services, idle. Go on like that, we can represent. That is nothing but the system state. Now we'll see entity. Entity is nothing but any object or a component in a system. Okay, that is again object means you can take customer is an object or server is an object, whatever it might be. Examples you can take these in a system that requires explicit representation in the model. For that model, it represents explicit representation. Next, attribute. Attribute is nothing but it is a property given to a entity, that is customer in a waiting line or routing to the job. That is nothing but attribute. Attribute is nothing but a property given for an entity. Here take an object, suppose customer or server. Okay, again server. Server, take example able. This entity, okay, property. What he is doing, the property. Whether is a busy or idle representation. This is said to be property of an entity. Next, list. It is nothing but a collection of associated entities. That is, some logical fashion these are arranged. How this list is given. Entity, for example, an entity, a customer, or whatever you take one example. Okay, for that, a collection of associated entities. Customer number 1, customer number 2, customer number 3, go on like this. These are the associated entities. Why? Because in the previous example we have taken 6 customers. All 6 customers were coming to the same call center and getting the services. So these all 6 customers are associated entities. So this list C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6 is the list. It becomes list. This is the example. Now coming to event. Event is nothing but an instantaneous occurrence that change the state of a system. For example, at 0 clock time, C1 occurred. Means customer 1 called for taking the service. Suppose he completes the service at clock time 4 and at clock time 6 customer C2 calls to take the service. That means in between 4 minutes and 6 minutes, 2 minutes will be idle. This is nothing but the server event is nothing but instantaneous occurrence that change the state of a system. Here at clock time 0 it is in busy state, and at clock time 4 it will be again changing to the state idle state. So occurrence, depending on the occurrence, it will be changing the state of a system. It is said to be an event. Coming to event notice. Event notice is nothing but it is a record of an event to occur at a current time or future time. Future time is said to be future event list. At the particular instant, time is said to be current. Suppose now the time is 0. Okay, clock time 0. Customer C1 called for getting the service and he needs the service for 4 minutes. This is whole totally said to be event notice. We are writing, that is recording an event to occur. Okay, this is occurred, already occurred. Next, suppose for example in future, that is next customer C2 will occur at clock time 6 and needs the service for 2 minutes. For example, this is the future event list because at present time this customer in service and in future next customer 2 will arrive and needs the service for 2 minutes. This is what the event notice. It is said to be event notice. Again, when you come for event, here we will call it as A represents arrival event, means coming into the system arrival, same as D represents departure event. It is said to be after completing going out of the system. And one more is stopping event. When you should stop this whole simulation process, that is stopping event. Maybe it is of again two types: scheduled at clock time, particularly at some time, that is for example here 60 minutes here stopping. So you may initially give the stopping event time, or for example if we are assuming that 6 customers to get the service and complete the service means entering into the system, or you can take departure of the system, arrival or departure. These are all the event types. Okay, event arrival, departure and stopping event. So here customer C1, you can represent it as arrival means A and completes the service at 4, that is departure 4, go on like that. Okay, we'll see one of the example next. Next, what is event list? Event list is nothing but if we are listing the number of event notices like this, go on list. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, go on like this list. If you represent the more number of event notices, maybe future events ordered by time occurrence. That should be time occurrence. Here we need to discuss one more, that is time occurrence is, suppose for example t is less than t1. That means this is the next time, less than t2, less than t star, less than t5 for example, less than tn. T is less than t1, next more time. For example, this is clock time 0, maybe it is clock time 1, 2, and this is 5. But we were not knowing about what is T star. Maybe it may be T3 or T4. In between T2 and T5. Next up to Tn. This is what the time occurrence is, nothing but ordered by time of occurrence. These are the events. How you are ordering is time of occurrence. Next, coming to activity. It is nothing but duration of time of specified length. For example, in the last problem, service time. First customer required 4 minutes service. Second customer requires 1 minute service. Go on like that. How much time they need the service, or how much time they were waiting in a queue. Go on. These are all said to be activities. Is nothing but a duration of specified length. Time of specified length. Next, delay. Delay is nothing but waiting time. Maybe again in this we are having two types. Unspecified, that is indefinite length, and specified length. For example, we will say wait for 5 minutes. That means specified time. It should wait only up to 5 minutes. Unspecified, okay, up to the completion of all the customers. For example, we don't know how much time they need to complete the service of all the customers. That is indefinite length. Unspecified length we call it as. This is what the delay, waiting time. Now coming to clock, this is very important, is a variable. Take a variable representing the simulation time. This is called clock. Always we will represent the clock time with t. This is about the concepts in discrete event simulation. Now we'll see one of the example. Old system snapshot at time t and new system snapshot at time t1. Before going to see what is this snapshot, we'll see what is the event scheduling time advance algorithm. In this, it consists of 5 steps. The first step is, first always, remove the event notice from the imminent event from FEL. FEL is nothing but future event list. See here, what is future event list is, next what is the event occurring that is represented in a list is said to be future event list. From that list, we need to remove the event notice. Event notice is nothing but we are recording the event, at what time they are occurring, the event is occurring, and at what time it is going out, like that. That is what the event notice. For an imminent event, imminent event is nothing but the primary event, that is the first event in a future event list. First event in a list is removed, that is the first step. And the second step is advance clock to the imminent event time. That means from this future event, which event is removed, that time the clock will be advanced, means moved to that particular clock time. Okay, see here, for example, this is at present time t. Okay, customer 5, 1, okay, only 1 minute, and completes the service at 6, for example. And in future event list, next event 3 is occurring at time t1. That means next time is t1, At that T1 time, event 3 is occurring, coming. So this is the first, second event, third event, go on like this. These are all the event notices in a future event list. That is, now this is the imminent event in this example, removing and advancing the clock to the future time, that is T1. For example, here it is T1. So what we will do, first step, remove this. Second step, advance the clock. Here I am advancing the clock to T1. Okay. Now third step, execute imminent event. This, now we are executing this customer, that is event 3. Update system state, that is the system state here we are representing with event 3, okay, occurred at a time T1, and maybe how much time it requires service. For example, 2 minutes. Okay, that means 2. Now the time is T1. So at 3 it will be going out. Just for example, we are saying that. Okay, yes, system state is updated. Change entity attribute and set membership as needed. If suppose any entities and attributes needed, we can change that. Okay, for example, here the time representation is given. Already we have discussed this. Okay, now we'll see the step 4. Now generate future event list. Now what will be the next future event list? From this, one is removed. So next will be this one. Okay, that is 1 and T2. Now we'll write 1 comma T2 becomes the next future event list. Okay, if necessary, and place their event notices on future event list ranked by event time. Suppose if one more event is occurred in a future event list, for example, event 4 at T star. We don't know what is the T time, T star. If we are considering this, T star, okay, is less than T2 and greater than T3. Why? Because already in this snapshot we are having T2 and T3. If suppose this T star is in between T2 and T3, then place here and write next future event list is 1 comma T3. For example, if this T star is less than T2, then you write here first 4 comma T star. Okay, next 1 comma T2, 1 comma T3. If suppose this T star is, okay, greater than, that means T3 less than T star. Now what we need to do is here write that first 1 comma T2, next 1 comma T3, next 4 comma T star. Likewise, we can place wherever it is according to the ordering. So we'll place, that is what the FEL ranked by event time. This is how to place. And finally last is 2 comma TN is already in this snapshot. This is. And fifth step is update cumulative statistics and counters. Here we are not updating any statistics. So these are all the 5 steps. Using these 5 steps, we have seen that old snapshot as well as how to place that new event in a new snapshot according to the time ranking in FEL, future event list. This is what about event scheduling time advance algorithm.